So today we'll be continuing to take a look at a scenario where civilization starts over on this fantasy map. In the last episode, we saw 9 countries forming, 5 up here in the north, and 4 down here in the south. But in this episode, we will be seeing a lot more things taking place, especially some more discovering and colonizing. But if you like this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. All the support is greatly appreciated, as we are trying to get to 200 subscribers by the end of the year. So yeah, let's just try to hit there. But here, let's start off right up here. So in the previous episode, we saw the first, war ever take place, and that was between the yellow team and the red team. But crap, that's the wrong spot. But now we see that they are actually working together, and by working together, I mean they're trying to help each other figure out how big this island is. So we see that the red team and the yellow team start to team up, and they start to go north with their journey as they try to discover everything that's inside this island. They guess it's an island. They don't know it's an island so far because they don't know about this. However, it kind of helps their claim that it's an island once they get up to here, as now a lot of it is explored, and they continue to explore down here until they figure out that it is indeed an island, and now they start to draw on the borders right in here. As they are discovering it, a bunch of things happen, and well, we'll take a look at them in a second. But we also see that the red team explores this little island. Very, very good for them. However, that is not it for the red team, as we see they go out from here, and they start exploring this area right around here. And they even start to follow a river, if I can turn them on. But yeah, we see that they start following this river right here, and they explore all of this area. And well, they even start going up this river right here, and start going down this one. And if they go any further, they're gonna come up with some people. But yeah, we see that the red team does a very good job at exploring these areas, and just solidifying a couple of, well, going to be borders. But we'll take a look at that in a couple of minutes. But now we also see that the pink and red teams start to explore this area. Remember, nobody in this world is really peaceful with each other, besides the lime team and that cyan team. But let's be honest, peace is never an option in, well, any Wixo. But yeah, besides 80s Pro, at least with the AN. But now we see that the pink team and the red team continue to explore down here until they get to this mountain range where they kind of have to halt in these areas because yeah, they're very mountainy. But the last place of exploration for this continent or this civilization is up here with the lime team. We see that they go up here and they start to explore this area. And it goes very smoothly as it is not the winter right now, and yeah, it's just pretty good for them as it's not nearing winter yet. Whoa. But we also see that this cyan country also helps out with the cause, and they eventually get to this big mountain range right here. So they have to go south instead. But no problem, as the dark cyan country continues to explore along with the red team. But now we look at a civilization that looks something like this. Now let's go on down to this one. Starting off right here, we see that the crap, wrong layer, sorry. But we see that the green team continues to explore down here in these areas, discovering a couple of islands along the way, but they're not really focused on those right now. They are just extremely focused on the waters, especially around this little enclave or this peninsula and bay. But we also see that they send a little boat over here to explore, and they explore a little bit before they meet up with another mountain range. Quite a few mountains over here. But yeah, they eventually do stop because of them. But not before they start to go up the coast of this little, I don't, if you guys want to come up with like landmark names, you can do that in the comments. But they get super close to this other civilization, except no contact is made. However, they do start to explore lots more of this area, and yeah, very good for them. Oh my gosh, my mouse is glitching out. But now let's go over to the orange team, as we see that they do a little bit of exploring, even going up and around this like river right here. And they eventually look something like this, and I'm gonna turn the mountain slayer off because it's getting really annoying. We just know that they're somewhere around here. But it is at this point that the green team and the red civilization, or well, the pink one, meet up, and well, they're kind of confused, like, who are you, and what are you doing up here? And well, the green team is like, you are us, and we're you, or something like that. But a little conversation happens over here. Not that they're the same language, but conversation. But we also see that the orange team and the pink team continue to explore, as well as the blue team, as they also start to go up this river, and they reach up with the other civilization as well. And well, now there are two main factions that know about these guys. And well, it's the blue team and the green team who really know about these other civilizations. But up here, it's a little bit worse than the situation between the pink team and the green team. Up here, the two sides are shooting each other. But or no, not shooting each other. They don't have guns yet. They're like fighting each other. They're like punching each other. But that's besides the point. As now we go over here and see the biggest exploration so far taking place, as well as the green team and blue team leading expeditions into this island. But very good for them, as yeah, this is just super awesome to just explore. They eventually explore the whole island, and now they're focusing up over in these areas. However, I do think there's a mountain range, so I guess we'll have to turn them on anyway. Oh, I guess not. But we see that they continue to explore this area very rapidly, and yeah, they make their border with the red civilization very big. But a lot of exploring is done in the matter of 10 years, I'd say, maybe more. But yeah, they explore a ton of land over here, and well, now this is how much of the continent they know exists. Um, but now let's head back up here, as the final exploration is going to be done. And that is by the Lime team, as they go around and start to discover like these coastal areas of this like tundra zone. And we also see that they start to explore the water areas, especially around this island, and reinforcing like water over here, as well as the pink team and green team trying to like map out water areas down here as well. And well, yeah, very good job by them. And for the last exploration, we see that these guys do a little bit. But now it's time to turn this mountain layer off, and I'll get to some expanding. Starting off with the red team, we see that they are going to take a very, very large chunk of land down here in the south, and a pretty large chunk up here. I'm just going to turn this river layer off too, as it's not really crap, I can't talk. But we also see that they annexed this island as well. But yeah, nothing too much for them. Sorry, there is actually one more thing for them, as we see that the yellow team and the red team make up this little peace treaty up here in this island. But yeah, there we go, that's it for them now. But down here, the pink team is going to make a pretty large gain of land, just as drawn like this. And they will conquer all of it. Very, very large piece for them. But now we go up here to the smallest country in the world, as we see the Cyan country taking like triple their country size. Very good for them. And lastly, the Lime team, they're going to be taking a very, very large chunk up here in these northern areas as they take a lot of this. But yeah, that is it for the northern civilization. And now let's go down here to the southern. And oh my gosh, does the green team expand a lot. We see that the green team almost, yeah, about triples the size of their country. And now they are even rivaling the red team, which is pretty bad. I mean, I guess not for them. But now let's look at the blue team's borders. But we see the blue team taking a ton of land from this area, even connecting up with the red team. Maybe that wasn't the best idea. But now we go down to these two countries, where we see both of them almost doubling the size, or their size, as we see this little treaty being drawn up right here. But now there are actually new countries that are forming, and well, the first one is going to be taking place in a fairly new spot. But this country is going to take place right here. Oh, nope, not on the border. But right here, and this country is fairly big to start. But we also see that they take a little bit extra land down here as just to make the borders look better. But a couple of other pockets or exclaves are also discovered within this thing, as we see one of them being out here, kind of like random, and we see the final one being right here. This one is pretty big. It even has some coastal access. Let's see how this one plays off in the future. Probably not good. But yeah, that is the first country. And the second country is the gold team. They just spawn out of nowhere. But yeah, they get this little piece. But however, that is not the last country to spawn in. But yeah, as I just said, there are 3 new countries over here. We see that the aqua team forms in, as well as the brown team and the purple team. But there's actually one more before we see another war take place, and that is up here. And well, it is just going to be the rest of, well, this island. But yeah, very good for them. We see, I think that's 5 countries joining in. But yeah, there's also a couple things that we have to take a look at. But that new thingy is that the well, the red team has just of course they're purple. But the red team has just made their first major city. However, this is actually incorrect. So in a second you will see a lot more. And boom, there we go. As we see our first major cities right in here, a couple, or actually that's quite a bit. But now we have to take a look at capital cities, so let's take a look at this. Of course, we see that the brown team's capital is right there, as that is their only major city, along with the aqua country. However, over here in this gold country, we see that their capital city goes on the coast. And over here in the gray country, it goes right on this little river. And for the last country, I think down here, we see that their capital city goes right there. Pretty good for them, as that is a pretty strategic location. And now up here, we see that this guy's capital city is going to be right here, as that is where the major parts are of this thing. But yeah, there we go. New major cities and capital cities. But now there is something that I kind of just hinted to. But yeah, this is gonna be very bad for a country. And that's not good. Sorry, blue team, but you're cooked. Go away. But we see that the blue team starts to get invaded by the green team. However, that is not the only person invading them. Oh, well, that's just great. But we see that the blue team begins to get invaded, quite a bit by these guys. And we see the most major, or the first major battle of this series happening, and that is the battle of this major city, which is cooked. But now we see that the gold team troops are going to start heading toward this major city as they're out for vengeance. Or I guess not vengeance, they're just hungry for land. But yeah, we see that in the north that the blue team is getting absolutely crushed, even losing their second major city. But that is mainly due to the fact that the green team has the one of the largest, well, farmers action movements in the world. They don't have militaries yet. They don't even have swords. Or I mean, I guess they have swords because I kind of said that, but their militaries aren't like functional yet. But we see that the blue team loses yet another city, and then in the north, the gold team starts to cruise down over this territory. And at this point, the blue team is starting to get cooked, as they do get pretty close to their capital city. However, the blue team is able to make a very important pushback right up here against the gold team, and even get right up to this major city, not quite capturing it, but really, really close to being it. And they even counter-offense down the green team into the west side of like the invasion force, where they then conduct their own invasion into the green team. Yeah, very beautiful looking war borders. We see that they're almost cut off, and the green team is getting kind of cooked now. But up here, we see that the success of the blue team is now starting to crumble as they recapture this major city. And well, down here, it's not going too well either, as we see the green team regaining all land back and then continuing their absolutely massive push. Um, and we see that this war is almost over. And now the most important battle of the series so far, we see that the green team reaches up with the blue team, with the outskirts of the blue team capital city, right before they just start absolutely blasting this thing. Uh, yeah, their blue team is absolutely cooked, and there's nothing that they can do about it. The gold team kind of just stops right here because they don't really have manpower to do it. But they just stop right there, and we get to the point where the blue team completely is gone. But that is the first green, gold, blue war. And now let's take a look at this peace treaty. And in this peace treaty, it's quite simple, as we see the green team getting all this land, the gold team getting a ton of land right over here, and now they take the whole border from them. And then finally the blue team coming back. But yeah, they are very, very weak, as they lost a bunch of major cities in that war. But yeah, the green team has just made themselves an empire. But that is gonna do it for today's episode of What If Civilization Started on a Fantasy Map. If you guys liked this episode, please make sure to like and subscribe. All the support is greatly appreciated. But without further ado, I will see you guys in the next one.